My name is Elena Foster. You can call me Nugget. This is my mom, and this is my dad. This is me now. I'll tell you more about today me later. For now, let me take you back to where it all started. Like all of you good people, I'm unique, but also very special in many ways. My story is not like most stories. You see, I came into this world, and bit by bit, I shattered my parents' hearts into a million pieces. It was no easy task. They're both extremely strong, resourceful, and resilient people. It took a lot, but just like me and you, they are only human. So let me tell you how I did it. My work started about 12 weeks after I was conceived, at early ultrasounds. This was my first opportunity to communicate with the outside world. Go big or go home. I had to do something. I won't bore you with all the details, but I managed to pull the fire alarm. And so, everyone went searching for the fire. What followed were appointments, expert advice, and endless research done by my parents. Thank you, Google. It was finally decided to do an invasive procedure called CVS to remove some amniotic fluid for a test. This would give my parents definitive answers to help them choose a path forward. Well, the procedure didn't go as planned, and getting any results was out of the question. I was expecting the nice doctors and nurses to try again, but it was a no-no. They used big words like unadvised, hemorrhage, and miscarriage. It sounded serious. And because my mom was now bleeding and in pain, she got put on bed rest for the rest of the pregnancy. But my birth is where the crazy ride really starts. Confusion was the name of the game. Also, for greater emphasis, and because I know a few things about superstitions and mind games, I decided to make my entrance into the world on the 13th day of January, 2018. So, on that topic, of course my arrival wasn't straightforward. Of course mom had to be induced. And of course, 48 hours later, right on schedule, voila, an unscheduled C-section was performed. And there I was, little old me, all cute and cuddly. First time I saw mom and dad, they looked amazed. All the butterflies and all the feels were there. I think in that moment, everything was perfect. My early days on Earth were filled with excitement. New babies are exciting, right? Well, first, all sorts of people tried to get me to drink, milk? Poor things had no idea that I wasn't able to swallow properly, and all the milk they were trying to feed me was ending up in my airways. This technique is nothing new, by the way. Just as an aside, waterboarding in various forms has been used dating back to the Spanish Inquisition, typically on prisoners of war to extract information. Well, I gave them nothing. But this is how I ended up in isolation, aka the incubator. Here, my experiences consisted of oxygen in one nostril and a feeding tube in the other. And occasionally, some time would be put aside for our milk boarding sessions. So, it went on for about 2 weeks. I got to meet all sorts of important and unimportant people, all with a mission to help. But one by one, they tried and failed to find answers. I could sense a really dark cloud setting in as my parents learned more and more dire news about me each passing day. Eventually, after all the tests in the world, including an MRI, my secret was out. I could not fool them any longer. I got my diagnostic. Charge syndrome. Appropriate, right? They finally figured out who's in charge. To keep things short and sweet, my special powers are coloboma of the eyes, so low vision, heart defects, atresia of the choanae, so narrowing at the back of my nose, restriction of growth and development, gastrointestinal problems, I really don't want to get graphic here, but it involves vomiting and ear anomalies, so no hearing and problems with balance. Oh, and you know the smell of fresh air, the ocean, freshly baked bread, or, oh gee, I can go on forever, but let's end it with fried bacon? Well, I don't. I don't have proper olfactory nerves, so I can't smell. I also can't taste, which I understand is a real bummer. When I was in the incubator, my parents were given these small pieces of fabric to wear next to their skin and then leave with me, so I can smell them even if they weren't there. Also, they were talking to me all the time and making faces and smiling and hugging me skin to skin as much as possible. It was not easy for them to realize I couldn't actually smell them or see them or hear them, but I felt them there 24/7, and that was nice. And you see, because I also had a complex cardiac condition and my oxygen levels were constantly low, they had to do open heart surgery. Can't say I was a big fan. There were tubes and wires everywhere. I couldn't move, and it kind of hurt. Apparently the ICU is not a relaxing spot like I was expecting. My heart was left open to help the swelling go down and make me heal faster. The road to recovery was a very bumpy one, my friends. It really wasn't pretty, but happy to report I made a full recovery. Yes, I know, little Miss Obvious. So, once all the hospital drama ended and I went home, I enrolled my parents in medical school because free time and sleep are overrated anyway. They learned how to put the NG tube in my tummy, how to test a bit of my stomach acid, how to work with me on my mobility, my communication skills, and my overall development. Mom is the captain of the rehab team, Dad is the assistant captain, and then there are all the ists, therapists, nutritionists. But do you want to know what the biggest problem is? While some of these ists come from the community, their support is not frequent enough to make any meaningful impact on my situation. Apparently, my situation is complex. I think that's a good thing. Yay, I'm finally doing something right. So anyway, my mom and dad were told my healthcare needs are too complex for what the healthcare system can offer, and they need to hire experts to fill in the gap if they want to give me the best chance at a future. I vote yes for that. So, all of this brings us to today me. I like to surprise the naysayers. I like to show my parents that I can learn stuff. Slow and steady for the win. I've been off the NG tube for a while, eating blended food. I know cues for my daily routine. Walks in Grandma's house are the best. And yes, you heard that right, I'm walking. It's better if my parents hold my hand because I have those pesky balance issues. But I can lead the way now and go wherever I want. Oh, I can also climb. Yeah, I could probably climb on top of you right now. And the other awesome part is all the exploration I do. My mom and dad give me tons of opportunity to interact with my surroundings so I can understand what nature is all about or what happens when I put magnets on different surfaces. I've also learned this. Everything that's taken apart can be put back together. So, for what I like to call Act 3, I've been diligently working on putting my parents back together. But I cannot do it alone. I need your help. See, the thing is, they really try to give me everything they can. However, creativity and most importantly, money has run out. Hope is hanging by a thread. Our family needs your help to see a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. We're making efforts to get me some really elaborate hearing implants and therapy. It's exciting, but incredibly nerve-wracking. I welcome anyone who wants to join my journey and follow my family and I as we push forward with open arms. All my love, Elena.